Yo, what is up, guys? Suda the Savage back, and oh my god, this is what I have been waiting for. The biggest statement win of the season, going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a Sunday Night Football game. Everyone's pushed us aside. They're all saying that the Bucs are going to win, but we pull off the 38-3 upset. Now, I expected the Saints to win. Like, come on now. I thought that they were going to win, but I did not think we were going to win like this. I did not think that it would be that much of a blowout. But anyways, going to do a general recap, individual player stats, and of course my grading of the teams. I can almost tell you that now, but you're just going to have to wait. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, so now starting out with a general recap of the game. So Buccaneers, they get the first ball in the Saints defense while we immediately go to work as we force a 3-and-out. So I'm already thinking, okay, good start. And so, we get the ball and we just do have a nice long drive, and eventually Drew Brees on a 3rd and 10 hits Traquan Smith with a 14-yard touchdown pass. And he almost overthrew him, but they blew the coverage. Traquan Smith was wide open, but at the end of the end zone he had to toe tap. But he still got the touchdown. Will Lutz would kick the extra point, and we would go up 7-0. And then on the very next drive for the Bucs, they also do another 3-and-out. So I'm getting excited. So then the Saints, once again, we drive down the field, and it's a 2nd and 7. Drew Brees throws it out for Jared Cook, but unfortunately he fumbled the ball, and the Buccaneers ended up recovering. So they reviewed it because they weren't sure, did Jared Cook's knee touch the ground first, but his knee actually touched, one of the defensive backs had fallen down, so his knee was on the defensive back as he fumbled the ball. So that's not considered the ground, so it's a clean fumble. And then we just force another 3-and-out, Bucs punt, and then we go on a 5-play drive, and we finish it off with a 7-yard touchdown pass to the rookie tight end, Adam Trotman. So already we're up 14-0. The defense is clicking. This is usually where I get a little bit skeptical. We're up 14-0, but what's our defense going to do? Are we going to blow it? No, we just forced another 3-and-out, which was just amazing. This defense is off to an amazing start against that kind of offense. I'm thinking, there's no way. And then we have another short field to drive, and we finish it off with a 12-yard touchdown pass to Emmanuel Sanders. And we go up 21-0. And the Buccaneers, I think this might have been one of their longer plays all night. It was an 11-yard pass to Tyler Johnson, but immediately we pick off Tom Brady. It was a tip pass, and it got intercepted by David Onyemata. And once again, we have another very short field, and Alvin Kamara just rushes in for the 1-yard touchdown. So we're already up 28-0. And the Buccaneers, they make some more noise, and eventually they drive downfield. They're on the New Orleans 38, so that's the longest drive that they've had. And it's 4th and 6, and at this point they have to go for it because Saints, we get the ball to start the second half, so they need to get some kind of score just to keep it close. And Tom Brady on the 4th and 6 goes for a lob for Rob Gronkowski, but he overthrew him just by a touch. Gronk was unable to come up with the catch, and we get the ball back. And we had a short field to drive, and unfortunately we did not get a touchdown, but we had to settle for a field goal. But I'll take it, up 31-0. And then the Bucs on their very next drive, okay, I was wrong. They finally got their longest play of the night, a 22-yard pass to Mike Evans. But eventually Tom Brady threw a pass for Antonio Brown, immediately intercepted by Marcus Williams. And at that point, there's about a minute left on the clock. I'm saying maybe we go for one more touchdown, just going for the kill. Didn't happen. Drew Brees just knees the ball down twice, and we end the half. And I'm just thinking, oh well, it's good enough. And then Drew Brees, we start the second half, and we go on a bit of a drive, but unfortunately on a 3rd and 6, a strip sack by Shaq Barrett, recovered by the Buccaneers, and yeah. So this also did get reviewed, but it was a very clear strip sack. So Bucs get the ball, and they drive to the 1-yard line. They got 4 chances. They're on the 1. They missed the pass. They threw a lob for Mike Evans. That failed. They tried to rush up the middle with Ronald Jones. That failed. Tom Brady tried to pass to the end of the end zone for Gronk. He had it for a second, but Demario Davis knocked that right out. And then the final chance was a lob to Mike Evans. But of course, Marshawn Lattimore is Mike Evans' father. because it's been like 700 days since Marshawn Lattimore has allowed Mike Evans to catch a pass when he's covering against him. So yes, Mike Evans has a new father. It's Marshawn Lattimore. And then on our very next drive, we don't really do much. We end up punting, which was interesting. It was like the first time that night. And then the Bucs, they have another, like a long drive. It's like 4th and 7. We're up 31-0. So they try like one last chance, and Tom Brady literally just sends up like a heave and a prayer. It was just an awful, awful throw that Malcolm Jenkins just read like a book. Intercepted it, and we then go down the field and we score another touchdown. This time it was a 3-yard pass to Josh Hill. And then the Bucs, finally, they did something. They ended up kicking a 48-yard field goal. And we're up 38-3, so this time we decided to put in Jameis Winston at quarterback. And he led a pretty good drive, but eventually it was 2nd and 5, and there was 2 minutes left. And we decided to go into victory formation, even though I think we should have gone for the first down. But we took 3 knees, and but the Bucs still got the ball back, but on their drive, they just decided to take 1 knee and just end the game. So a 38-3 victory. Wow. On to individual players. All right, so starting off with the man himself, Drew Brees. Now, what I got to say about Brees, he threw for 222 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no picks. Now, you might say that's a pretty bad night, but here are the circumstances. Many times when we had touchdowns, we had a very short field to drive. So obviously Brees is not going to be getting as much air mileage. Threw for 4 touchdowns, which is amazing. And considering that we were up by 31 for most of the game, it would make sense that he wouldn't have that many passing yards because the second half was just more focused on just trying to run out the clock. But anyways, Brees did well, but I also got to give credit to Taysom Hill as he had 2 passes for 48 yards. He actually had a triple-double. And in football, a triple-double is 10 passing yards, 10 rushing yards, and 10 receiving yards in the same game. Now, that's pretty tough to do unless you're Taysom Hill. And Jameis Winston, he had only 1 pass, but that was a 12-yard completion. I think it was to Mark Burton, our fullback, so good job. And we had about 7 players rush for yards, even though technically 5 because Drew Brees and Jameis Winston took a combined 5 knees, but when you kneeled the football, they counted as a rush. So the 5 big rushers were Taysom Hill, as he had 7 carries for 54 yards. Now, Taysom Hill, if you hate him in he's someone that I love, but if you're any owner of any Saints in fantasy, you're going to hate him because he's going to bring, your best player down. But you know what? I don't care. Taysom Hill just kicks some ass. Alvin Kamara, this is a pretty strong rushing unit. So he only got 9 carries, got 40 yards and a touchdown. So it was pretty good. Latavius Murray ran for 39 yards, followed by Dwayne Washington. He's like our 3rd-string running back, and the only reason we had him in was when Jameis Winston came in the game. And then Mark Burton only had 1 rushing yard, and that was just like a 4th and inches that we had to convert. And talking about fantasy football again, you also got to hate Drew Brees if in fantasy, because one thing that he loves to do is throw the ball to different receivers. As we had 12 different guys catch a ball. So, I love Drew Brees. I love that he spreads the ball around, but as a fantasy owner, you're going to hate it because you just wanted to stick to that one guy. But anyways, the lead receiver was Michael Thomas. Wasn't quite as explosive, but 5 receptions for 51 yards, considering that it was just so spread out. It was good. Still can't guard Mike, and I still don't have muscles. Other receivers, Deontay Harris, he had one reception for 40 yards. Adam Trotman had 3 receptions, 39 yards and a touchdown. So he was good, good time that we can actually pull out the tight ends again. Emmanuel Sanders also had a good game. 4 receptions, 38 yards and a touchdown. And Jared Cook had 1 bad fumble, 1 bad drop pass, finished with 2 receptions for 30 yards. So he was okay. I'd say he was the worst player on the Saints that night because the fumble and the drop pass, which would have given us a first down and could have given us a 35-0 lead, but we would have to settle for the field goal. Doesn't matter. Jared Cook, I'd say worst player of the game, but at least worst player for the Saints. That's all I can say, but I still love him. Anyways, but Taysom Hill had 1 reception for 21 yards, so that was also pretty good. Traquan Smith only had 1 reception, but had 14 yards and a touchdown, followed by Josh Hill with 2 receptions, 14 yards and a touchdown. And then the final 4 going with Mark Burton had 1 reception for 12 yards. Marquez Callaway came off an injury, came back in, only had 2 receptions for 11 yards. Alvin Kamara was not as dangerous as he was in past times, but we didn't really need to use him that much. He had 5 receptions for 9 yards, and Latavius Murray 2 receptions for 3 yards. And the defense was absolutely amazing. 3 and outs, turnovers, only allowed 3 points, and gave up 217 yards. This is what I have wanted. The defense to play to its potential. Offense, I'm going to give a 9.5 out of 10 because like the two fumbles really hold me back from giving us a 10 out of 10. But the defense, I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10. Like, about time the defense finally played up to their potential. I kept telling everyone, the Saints secondary takes a few games to get into check. And once they get into check, we're absolutely lethal. And that proved, we were just so good. Like, allowing Tom Brady only throw for 209 yards and 3 picks. That's the same thing I want. And also, something I was saying before in like earlier Saints recaps, Drew Brees had done well when he had no one to throw to. And this example shows that, once like the whole squad is fully healthy, we're dangerous. Like, don't sleep on the Saints. We have actual potential now. So Saints, overall grade, I'm going to give them a 9.5 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 they deserve for this game. Anyways, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, 209 passing yards, no touchdowns, but 3 costly interceptions. Just was not himself, was absolutely terrible. But the only thing that was worse than him was the rushing game. Like, you only rushed the ball 5 times. 4 times, but you can say 5 if you include the Blaine Gabbert kneels just to end the game. But Ronald Jones, 3 carries for 9 yards, and Leonard Fournette had 1 carry for 0 yards. Your lead receiver was Mike Evans, but of course when Marshawn wasn't covering him, he was able to get free, but with Marshawn on him, just completely locked him down. Chris Godwin had 3 receptions for 41 yards. Leonard Fournette, a lot of like screens and checkdowns to him. He had 41 receiving yards. And then Antonio Brown. That was the narrative. Tampa Bay bolstering that receiving core by adding Antonio Brown. He had 3 receptions for 31 yards. So an okay debut. Tyler Johnson had 1 reception for 11 yards. Scotty Miller, 1 reception for 10 yards. Ronald Jones, the third, 3 receptions for 9 yards. And then Rob Gronkowski. I had said this in many prediction videos before, but he was starting to be more of a catcher. He only had 1 catch for 2 yards. But anyways, your defense was absolutely terrible. I mean, except, like, I'd say player of the game for you is Shaq Barrett, because he did get that strip sack on Drew Brees. But so your offense, I will give a 2 out of 10. Actually, no, 1 out of 10. Like, 1 out of 10 is what you deserve. 3 turnovers, only putting up 3 points. Your defense, I'm going to give a 3 out of 10 because, you guys were pretty bad, but the 2 turnovers are going to help you get that grade up. So Saints, their overall grade, they get a 10 out of 10, and the Bucs, I'm giving them a 2 out of 10 because y'all were just awful. Like, this is what I wanted, just for us to finally shut down a strong team and be seen as contenders. This is what I've been wanting, and I finally got it. Onto the outro. And that is going to wrap up my video for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you want to see all my other prediction videos and all my other Saints recap videos, links will be in the description below. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what you thought of this game. Did you enjoy this blowout, or are you one of those sad Buccaneers fans that actually exist and is just depressed, or is just like a Tom Brady bandwagon? Is that what you are? Because that's like most Buccaneers fans today. But anyways, comment down below what you thought. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok @SudoTheSavage. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Who Dat Nation is